Welcome to DebriefScape Suite, innovative tools and resources to support STEM instruction in special education. We'll begin our presentation with a brief overview of the DebriefScape project from Dr. Lisa Deeker, our co-principal investigator.
Hi, my name is Lisa Deeker, and I'm a professor and principal investigator on a project at the University of Central Florida, a Stepping Up grant called DebriefScape. And in this project, we're looking to support special ed teachers working in STEM areas and providing STEM coaches with resources and support to help special education. We have 3 buckets that we see as an outcome of this project. We're in our first year. It will be an observation database tool that will provide a dashboard for people to tag high leverage practices they observe in teachers. From those practices that are tagged, teachers will have free resources in mathematics and science and special ed to help them improve their teaching with their own self-driven professional development. And the final part of this project will be a coaching cycle to provide support to math and science coaches and other leaders to support special ed teachers in the field. We hope you enjoy the information we share today.
As Lisa mentioned, here's our first bucket, the coaching model, which will be described by Dr. Rebecca Hines.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Hines, and I'll be providing a basic overview of the coaching model used in Project DebriefScape. It's a fairly simple 3-step process that guides the coaching in this project. Needs assessment, goal setting, action planning, followed by the next component, which is the observation itself, and finally, a feedback and reflection time between the coach and the teacher. Let's break it down just a little further. So in that first discussion, the coaches will meet with the teacher and have a very targeted discussion about the students with disabilities in their classroom. Coaches will use a checklist to help with fidelity. They will ask about accommodations on IEPs and basically gauge where the teacher is in understanding what is being provided, what should be providing, etc. Next, they will move into a discussion about the high leverage practices that the teacher wants to target for his or her own personal benefit and in teaching improvement. So they will together explore the high leverage practices and select the HLP that the teacher is most interested in working on. So in DebriefScape, now we move to the tool part. So in the second component, the coach goes in for the observation, but the teaching behaviors that were identified in that first session are the focus. As they're watching, they're tagging those behaviors when they occur. That third component, that reflection and feedback, that's basically that after action review. So the teacher and the coach sit down, they can pull up the video easily in the DebriefScape suite. They can see the live video feed. It will forward exactly to the tags that the coach has provided. And now there's a rich discussion that takes place. Data is easily shown and shared. So the cycle is designed to really pinpoint those target skills that a teacher is interested in working on and interested in having feedback in. DebriefScape will also help pull up resources so the teacher can learn more about those specific skills. 3-step cycle, practice-based coaching, that's the model for DebriefScape.
And our second bucket, the observation dashboard, which will be explained by Dr. Charlie Hughes.
Good day, I'm Charlie Hughes, and I want to show you some of the features of our DebriefScape suite. And specifically, this is one of the tools designed for you to be able to, as a coach, to be able to annotate events that occur in a coach session or one that occurred offline, and you just capture it and you start putting annotations in. The annotations are tags that determine behaviors that are observed either on a teacher or a coach, another coach, or students within that you'd like to use when you're doing reflective learning with a teacher or with another coach who you're trying to improve their behavior on. So what I'm going to do is come in here and open an existing session. In fact, this is one associated with Teach Live that we captured a couple of years ago, the video, and had tagged that on the fly and imported it into our new tool. And so you see in here that there are ways I can look at. For instance, there is this collection of things of all of the characters when they speak. And if I click on Sean, it goes to an event, and I'll just.
Oh, good afternoon. How are you? Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Every time that Sean talks.
Today we're going to go over.
To add new tags, I want to have a collection of tag types of annotations. And we've taken all the high-level practices and put them in here. And I can capture every high-level practice that is in about learning environments, or all of the ones about feedback for behavior. Or I can select them, just a few of them in here. So I can select all of these and just a couple of these ones. And you'll see what happens as a result of that. If I go back into my tool for tagging, and I just pick some random point in here, and I decide what I want to do, is I want to add a tag. The categories will come up of high-level learning practice 7 and 8, plus the categories we previously had. So I'll choose high-level category 7. And then what I'll do is look at the labels, and the ones that I chose show up here. So I can do creating culture. I can add a comment just for fun. And then I can create a tag, and that tag will be saved with this particular. So in addition to all of this, what I can do is I have the ability to capture dynamically aspects of a person's emotional response through maybe their pulse rate or their pulse rate variability, their heart rate variability, their facial expressions. All of that can be captured within this and can be used in order to do tagging of events in there. So you can look at co-occurrence of things like high stress levels and the facial expression associated with high stress levels and with heart rate variability and what events cause that. So you can do all sorts of analysis with this. That's where I think I'll stop right now. So that'll give you a little feeling for the system. Thank you.
And finally, our third bucket is the suite of resources provided for teachers, which will be explained by Dr. Rachel Hallett-Njuguna, our project director. So now we come to our final bucket, which is our DebriefScape suite website. And this is the third step in the process after the teacher and coach have gone through the coaching cycle at least once, and they've used the observation dashboard to collect some data and have some constructive reflection. The teacher will come here to look for resources that can help him or her improve their practice. So let's say, for example, in their coaching cycle and their observation, they've noticed that the teacher could use a little help giving some more meaningful feedback to their students during math and science lessons. They can type in the word feedback. And then from our almost 300 resources, in this case, about 27 pop up. And you'll notice that there is a variety of types of resources depending on the preference of the teacher. So we have videos, research-based articles, blogs, online modules, practice-based articles, just a whole bunch of different types of resources. And each type is a different length, also depending on what the teacher has time for. So there's some very short, under 10-minute resources they can take a look at very quickly and maybe implement the next day. And then there's some others that are 10 to 30 minutes or even several hours long, depending on what they have. So they could use a full professional development day or something over the summer, depending on the depth of their need. These resources are constantly being updated, and we look forward to seeing what effect these resources will have on improving teacher instruction. This concludes our presentation for the DebriefScape suite. We thank you for your time, and we welcome any and all feedback and questions that you may have.